As a fan of station wagons myself, I'm really glad to know that it's not dead quite yet, because companies like Subaru still are keeping the dream and the wagon alive, thanks to the 2023 Subaru Outback Limited. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Please do me the biggest favor ever and support this channel however you can, whether that be through liking this video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel, or hitting the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Huge shout out to Johnson Subaru of Cary for sponsoring today's video. Since 2008, Johnson Subaru of Cary has been the best resource for all things Subaru. Now operating out of a brand new stunning facility, you'll experience excellent customer service and a shopping experience like no other. Link in the description below. You know, I always like to start out with a little bit of history about the car that I'm reviewing, and today is a very historical one to be had. First of all, did you know that Subaru is a Japanese word for the Pleiades constellation, which is a 6-star constellation? I didn't know that either until about 5 minutes ago when I looked it up on my phone. Love Google. Speaking of love, did you know that that's what makes a Subaru? A Subaru? Being a member of the LGBT community myself, I have been enamored with the fact that where did the lesbian joke come from? I wanted to know, so I researched it. What I realized is that, like this car, it was manufactured by Subaru. In the early 90s, they found that they were having declining sales, so the marketing team decided that they needed to hone in on who were their top groups of people that they needed to sell to. They determined that there were 5 niche audiences for the Subaru Outback, and one of them being lesbians. The Subaru Outback has it all. It has the capability of an SUV, and it's moderately priced. Picture it, it is the early 90s, so Ellen has not come out yet, and Will and Grace is not out on TVs either. Plus, Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been passed in legislation, so we're at kind of a tumultuous point in history when it comes to the LGBT community. Like most things in the 90s, there was gay coding, and Subaru was a master at gay coding, with advertisements like "Get out and stay out," nudge nudge, wink wink, as well as they would include vanity plates that reference Xena, warrior princess, which I guess was popular for lesbians in the 90s, I don't know. Subaru also advertised in LGBTQ plus magazines as well as regular advertising space. It was just all over the place. And what they found was that it was widely popular and successful in that sense. All right, enough history lessons, let's get into the car. Little fun fact about me, I am the biggest fan of station wagons. I think that they are the best when it comes to driving capability, utilitarianism, and looks, really. I love a shooting brake look. Not that this has one, but I love just everything about a station wagon, and I'm really glad to know that Subaru is still keeping her alive. This Subaru Outback comes in 8 different trim levels, starting around $29,000 for the base model and $43,000 for the top tier. This is the mid-trim, coming in around $36,000 and is called the Limited. The Subaru Outback comes with 2 powertrains and 1 drivetrain, which they refer to as the symmetrical all-wheel drive. Man, do I love a station wagon. This is the naturally aspirated 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine that outputs 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. If you're looking to tow with this thing, it does have a towing capacity of 2,500 pounds and it has a CVT transmission. Now, the 2.4-liter turbocharged engine does output around 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque and has 800 more pounds of towing capacity. I would probably go for that powertrain because I want to go just a little bit faster, but this powertrain works for most people. So enough about that, let's move on. The 2023 model has seen a mid-gen refresh, and it is completely evident in the front fascia. Now, it is a little bit more angular, a little bit more modern, and completely and utterly Subaru Outback. I think out of all of the iterations of the Subaru Outback, this is by far my favorite because I love the way that this front part looks right here as it kind of goes into the fog lamps. I also really love this downward facing bumper right here. And again, I just, not to be redundant, love the way that this new Outback refresh looks. Now, it does also come with LED headlamps as well as LED fog lamps. If you get the Wilderness package, it does come with the 6-dot hexagonal LED fog lamps. This one does have a ground clearance of about 8.5 inches, but if you do get the Wilderness package, it does come with a 9.5-inch ground clearance. My favorite angle on the Outback has to be the side profile itself, not only because it is a station wagon, but also because I really do enjoy the black plastic fender pieces that are evident on both sides, as well as the super chunky roof rails that I think are just quintessentially Subaru Outback. Now, I know I have not been a fan of it before on my channel, but I think that it just kind of adds to the rugged, off-roady nature of the Outback. Personally, I think that the biggest selling point of the Subaru Outback is just the overall utilitarianism and the cargo capacity. It does have a power liftgate, and once you get inside the back end of the Outback, it does have a cargo capacity of 32 cubic feet. It's huge back here. Then, once you use these lifty little levers, alliteration, I love alliteration, and you put down the second row, you get a whopping 75 cubic feet of storage in the back. That's huge for a midsize SUV. It's huge. Ugh, love. It's what makes a Subaru. Let's go inside. Welcome to the interior of the 2023 Subaru Outback Limited. Like Mazda, Subaru has its own vocabulary list of referring to its different safety features and technologies. So, one of them being the Starlink infotainment system that is standard in the limited and up models, or the premium and up models. It is an 11.3 horizontal infotainment screen that is fully digital, touchscreen, etc. It does, of course, have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. The only, I think, gripe that people are going to have with the infotainment system is that it is entirely too much touch, and it is very distracting, especially with all of the HVAC controls are in this infotainment system. Now, if you keep it on auto, that is fine. Like, I'm an automatic climate control girl. I don't really need to like control the fan speed. I just turn up the heat or turn down the air, whatever. But some people don't want that. Some people want to be able to control it completely themselves. You do get updated weather information as well as a updated map situation provided by TomTom as well. The Apple CarPlay itself is an interesting layout. I've never seen the Apple CarPlay laid out like this. Typically, this bar is going to be on the left or the right hand side, but it's on the bottom of the screen. So it's definitely taken some time for me to get used to this implementation of Apple CarPlay. There is a car icon that gives you all of the controls. I mean, even the X mode button is now located on the screen. It's no longer a physical button. And even like the auto hold and the stop start and stuff like that, they are in here as well. I did make a TikTok video on this, but this does have a driver monitoring system. There is an infrared camera housed at the top of the infotainment system that can actually scan your face and can track your eye movement and your head movement and make sure that you are paying attention to the road, and it will actually scan your face and register you. So it remembers your last screen that you were on in the infotainment system. It will remember what climate control you had. It will remember the seat positioning and the side view mirror positioning just by scanning your face. It will greet you when you get into the car, and it will say goodbye to you as you're leaving. Now, I haven't necessarily found where I can turn, oh, you can turn the driver monitoring system off. Okay, myth debunked, there it is. Oh, and the final thing that I'll say about the infotainment screen is that it is responsive enough, but there are some times that it does lag a little bit, but that's at like if you start it up more than once, it does kind of lag a little bit, but it's very seldom that it does, but I have noticed that it lagged once or twice. Now again, with it kind of sitting in between like a standard car and a luxury car, it does have a partially digital gauge cluster with analog tachometer and speedometer, and it's very much like, it's giving Toyota, it's giving Lexus. It's not that customizable, but it's fine. I mean, it shows you everything that's going on that you need it to. The thing that I have not found to be useful is this icon button. I have not seen any use for it. I just sit here and I click it and it's not really doing anything. So I don't know. But some upgrades for the 23 model is that the entirety of the steering wheel is finally heated. It's not just 10 and 2. The entire wheel itself is now heated, so that's pretty interesting. The seats are bolstered. They're incredibly bolstered for how slow this car is. I mean, I'm surprised, but they're very comfortable. They're both power adjustable up front. This one has a thigh support that might not be power adjustable, but you can still adjust it. And, you know, I have been very comfortable in this seating arrangement. And to speak on just the general aesthetic of the interior of the car, I mean, it's nice. I don't think it is like the most, you know, luxurious or like the most, you know, handsome interior. It's got form, it's got function. It does have nice touch materials. Everything is very nice. You know, the leather is nice to touch. There's got this leather on the center console, as well as this stitching on the dashboard. And then even just like up top here, like while it might not be leather, it is actually pretty decently soft to touch. And it's got piano gloss black and some silver trimming. Is it for me? Not necessarily, you know, but I think what I see in Subaru, you know, I've not always been the biggest fan of Subaru, right? But I understand why people enjoy this car. I think, you know, it is a do everything kind of vehicle. I mean, they really put the utility in SUV with this, you know, with the giant trunk and the, you know, the comfortable seating, and it's got some of the most dynamic, you know, intelligent safety features. Another thing I forgot to mention is that the EyeSight is what they call their safety systems for Subaru, and the EyeSight has a bit wider angle of a lens for the 23 models and on, so it has improved that, and I'll get more into that in my next video. But the blind spot monitoring system is also giving like very much Audi, very much Porsche, with the reticle on the inside of the side view mirror itself. Now, I thought that the Subaru icon was going to be that, but that's actually kind of like a welcoming light. And I think that that is a cute, cheaper, nice way to do it, other than this in vogue projector that they have on all of these cars now that projects the logo onto the ground. I think it's a nice differentiation from that. Anywho, the other thing is that the 23 and up models also has an additional 1.4 inches of space in the back. So not only are the seats in the back heated and there are vents for the passengers in the back, it's incredibly spacious in the back. For a TikTok video, I sat back there to wrap this video. I see and I understand the appeal with the Subaru. And I think it's got form, I think it's got function, I think it is well equipped for the pricing. I think that it is got all the technology that one would want in a modern car and more. I mean, that driver attention thing with the facial recognition, that's Mercedes level. What other standard car do you know that has biometrics already? But, I mean, I get the appeal of this car. It's got everything that you could ever want out of a car and then some. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. And thank you so much to Johnson Subaru of Cary for sponsoring today's video. Be on the lookout for my driving portion coming out very, very soon. And speaking of which, I'm gonna go expel some of this caffeinated energy out onto the road safely, okay? So thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these three options. Right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These three. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.